Welcome, amazing agents from across the country. Today is Thursday, July 12th, 2018, and this is Mastermind call number 185. We're going on almost 200 calls, right? We're going on 200. It's interesting. We were listening to one of our first calls, and the format hasn't changed, but boy, we got a whole lot more content than we did 5 years ago when we started this. We had a great role play call yesterday. Good participation for those of you that were there. Thank you very much. Maybe Chad will want to summarize that when we get to him, but that's about all I have today. Tim, anything you want to share with the group?
Nope, I'm all good. Just let's get to some people and hear some good info, and let's see who we can work with today.
Chad, anything you want to share?
Yeah, so we did have the role play call yesterday, a week late because of the holiday. We did warn you guys, so if you didn't make it because you were expecting it on the 4th, you can always find those in two different places. If you're a subscriber, you can look in the subscriber portal under Education and Training, click on Conference Calls, Access Call Archive. Or you can jump in our Facebook group, which is All the Leads Mastermind, and we also archive each of the calls there. So if you didn't get a chance to jump on that role play call, we had kind of light attendance. I think summer vacations in full swing, but if you didn't have a chance, those are recorded so you can get to them when you do have time. And the only other thing I have is Probate Mastery has been scheduled. I did send out one email. We're going for July 23rd, 24th, 25th, and that'll run from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. For those 3 days. And you can learn more about that by looking at the Education and Training page on our site. That's all I've got.
All right, perfect. And just one observation, both on the role play calls and the mastermind calls. We always get, not always, but we often get a very unique situation, but we do hear a lot of recurring themes, and we're always willing to answer those questions again. And if you have some issue between calls, or you didn't hear something that you were curious about on one of these calls, what Chad just mentioned, if you go to that source, there are tabs there that summarize the call. So you can quickly scroll through the 35, 36 role play calls we've had, and I don't think there's too many things we haven't gone over or discussed, and a lot of them, do recur, but, every time, we and you get a little bit different perspective on it. So try to show up for those if you can, and we appreciate everybody who is here today. We do have 2 people in the queue. We got plenty of room for more. Again, just hit *6 and then hit 1 if you'd like to be next up. In the meantime, first person in the queue is phone number ending in 6369. You're up first.
Hi, this is Lisa in Minnesota.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, so I just kind of wanted to share a really cool thing that happened. I was a little disappointed I only had 4 leads come in this past month, but I was using your ISA to start calls for when they came in and the letters went out. And out of 4, they got a hold of a person and scheduled me an appointment, like boom, right there for that week. So it was so awesome. I got to go out there and meet the family, and I think we're going to be putting that house on the market at the end of this month.
Wow, great story. That's awesome.
25% conversion rate.
Yeah, we always convert at least 25%. I was going to say that. But, Lisa, congratulations to you, because we have a system that works anywhere, but we always tell our agents, depending where you're at in the country, that's about the lowest lead count I've heard, and we've got counties where we get 700. And the good news is in the bigger counties you get a lot more leads, but it tends to be a little bit more competitive. In the smaller markets like yours, you got a lot less people to deal with, but your conversion rate should be a lot higher because you probably don't have any competition. As far as you know, did those people have anybody else contacting them?
They did say there was another agent that reached out to them, but I don't know where they were at, but they actually had an area code outside of Minnesota.
Ah. Excellent.
So I don't know if it was maybe you guys calling again for another agent and it came through with I know you guys use local numbers and stuff, but what was really cool too is, so that was the very first one that I've done that with, using you guys to do the call, because I wanted to basically hear a conversation, and I got to hear the recording of the call. So that helped me be a lot more comfortable, and hey, I could do that, and it went really well. I was actually surprised. I think the gentleman who was making the call was a little surprised too, because the guy was like, "Well, yeah, when can we meet?" So
he didn't say, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want this?" He didn't say that, right?
No, it was, but it was. I think he was caught off guard. He hadn't even received all the details about my profile yet. So kudos to him for trying to piece it all together, because they were asking, so now what group is this? Where are they located? So the fact that he got I was really impressed with it.
That is awesome. I just wanted to add one thing to your comment. We do not call for more than one agent per county. So
okay.
If they did get another call, it wasn't us.
Right. Well, that's what I thought was the case, but I wasn't sure. And I know you guys use local area codes for when you're calling in the area. So when he said it was like a 416 area code or something like that, and so I know he got another call, but I honestly I don't know where it came from or how I'm sure somebody who was going through county records somewhere. So
I'm curious, in your market, if you were to call FSBOs or expireds, how many people are calling them?
Everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So you could be 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 100. I like your odds better with probate leads. That's a great story.
Me as well. Yeah, it was great. So I just wanted to share that story because I was super impressed with that, and I thought, wow, 4, and they actually got an appointment for me from one of them. I thought, wow, that's really cool.
That is awesome. Any comments, Chad?
No, I mean that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. You covered what I did. So.
All right, excellent. Well, Lisa, you're first.
Curious to see if she'll get more out of 4 in subsequent rounds, because that was your first round of the campaign, right?
Right. Yep.
So let's go for 75% conversion.
That sounds good to me. Well, I know one of them didn't have real estate when I looked at the notes that I received afterwards. So if I can get one more of those 2, I think I'd be doing awesome.
Yeah, the guy we have with 700 in his county, if he could convert 25%, he'd be retiring next month.
Right. So I'm glad I don't have that many. That would be overwhelming.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Right now, I would say you're definitely in first place for our best win of the week. Thank you for sharing.
Right. Thanks.
Guys, we only have one other person in the queue. We got plenty of time. You don't have to have a great win like Lisa. If you have something, this is a mastermind call, so we want to hear your challenges, your frustrations, your successes. Even if we have a lot of agents that have a little bit of call reluctance, like Lisa did until she listened to somebody else do it, and it's really not that difficult. So any challenges you're having that we can help you with, please jump in and participate. Just hit *6 and then hit 1, and you will be next up. In the meantime, the next up is phone number ending in 0347. You're up next.
Hi. My name is Karen Boggs. I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I'm brand new to the program, so I'm just trying to figure out, what's going on and just get some education on probate.
Okay. You just wanted to say hello.
Yes.
Karen, have you, just kind of like a first-timer's check, have you watched the Fast Track videos?
No, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, well,
a notification to join the Mastermind call, and I thought, okay, so that's a good place to start.
That's all right. We'll get you educated, as they say, very quickly. Have you done your orientation call yet with Tom?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's
really brand new, so I don't know anything about it.
Not a problem. Step 1 would be watch those Fast Track videos as quick as you can. It'll take you less than an hour. And then Tom will reach out to you and do your orientation call. And, just really dive into those fast track videos, and you can spend anywhere, Chad, from 40 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how deeply you dive in. But that really will answer 98% of your questions. And then Tom will kind of reinforce it by walking you through the program again. And then please just keep coming on these calls every week. And if you ever need help with anything, I think Tom is on the road this week, but he would always tell you that just send an email to support@alltheleads.com. Be real specific about what you need help with, and somebody will usually get back to you within a few minutes.
Okay. And where do I find the videos at?
Chad, you want to tell her how to find them, please?
Yeah, so when you go to alltheleads.com, in the top right, you'll see subscriber portal, and that's where you'll put in your email and the password you set up when you signed up. And then there'll be a pop-up that is the first time you've logged in. There'll be a pop-up video that kind of orients you to the site and shows you where to find things. But you can also use the menu, go under Education and Training, Fast Track. And it's 3 modules. It's only about 38 minutes.
Okay, I think I found that.
If you can watch them straight through.
Okay. Great, thank you. I'm excited.
Excellent. And Karen, what market are you in?
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, thank you for sharing, and we're looking forward to you coming back in subsequent weeks and sharing your successes with us. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And next up is phone number ending in 0914. You're up next.
Hi, this is Chancellor Macon from Fort Wayne, Indiana. My dad has his own team of realtors, and I work on the leads that come in from our website. And, I've never heard of this, whatever you guys are doing, at all. You just told me to listen to this call. And so what I'm hearing is that you guys call leads for us?
Yeah, I take it you're not a subscriber. You're a prospect.
I'm not. I'm just listening.
Okay. Well, I'll just give you, the 1 minute or less 30-second version. We're a complete service for people, wanting to make probate their niche. And we give you leads, information, phone numbers, coaching, training. You can do it yourself, or we'll do it for you. In a nutshell, but we highly recommend. It's a pretty simple 3-step process. Get the leads, send a letter, follow up with a phone call. Let these people know you can help them. If you want us to, we'll do the letters for you, and if you want us to, we'll make the calls for you. And
you guys will call 100% of the leads I get if I wanted you to.
If you wanted to, yes, sir. And do me a favor, if you would go to our website and just fill out that short ticket, that hit Check My County and fill out that short ticket. It'll send you a 3-minute video that'll explain our whole program. It'll explain everything, and then one of our salespeople will call you back and walk you through the program.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Appreciate it. We have 2 more in the queue. We got plenty of room for more. Again, just hit *6 and hit 1. Next up is phone number ending in 6248. You're up next.
Good morning. This is Joyce calling, and I just had a call that has taken my breath away, and I'm hoping you can tell me how to deal with it.
Okay, we'll take a deep breath first. I should start breathing again first. I'm just being a smart aleck. Go ahead. Sorry, Joyce.
This lady is a person that I sent a letter to, and I called her follow up yesterday. So this morning, just now, she called me and screamed at the top of her voice, saying, "Don't you ever call me again? I'm going to report you to every authority that I can find. How dare you call me? Do you understand? Clunk." and I'm thinking, what authorities can she report me to?
So you called her right back, right?
I did not. Should I?
I'm gonna let our coach handle that. Go ahead, Chad.
That's her ego talking. She's hurt, and she doesn't trust you, and she's giving you the reputation of the last person that pissed her off. So some of them you just have to let go. If she's that heated, you just want to let her go. You might leave her on their mailing list. But if she explicitly said, do not call me, then don't call her, because you're just giving her, you're giving her some traction to file a complaint with the real estate board or your broker or, the Better Business Bureau. So there isn't a do not mail list. You can continue to mail her, but I wouldn't force a phone call on someone like that.
Joyce, are you just getting started with the program? Have you made a number of calls, or are you just getting started?
I'm just working my first month of calls after letters, and
right.
So it is possible that she can report me to the real estate board or people like that?
Well, I mean, anybody can. I can report you to the real estate board for having blonde hair. Like anyone can report you. It doesn't mean that there's any validity to the complaint, which I don't believe there is. But my point was, if she asks you to not call her, just don't, and you won't have a problem. The good news is this is kind of like scratching a new car. You got it out of the way. Like I call this the lightning strike objection. Like what's the one we're all terrified of, but few of us ever get hit. So you're gonna have this. People have a lot going on. They're super stressed out. And she doesn't know you. It's not personal. It's just her ego trying to protect her, and her feelings are, she's raw emotionally right now. And just understand that and move on. But you haven't done anything wrong. I mean, she's an administrator. Her job is to, deal with the public and closing out an estate. So there's no validity to a complaint if she does file it, unless she files, a complaint based on the phone call, not the offer. So I would just mark her as lost in your database and move on.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm breathing again.
Joyce, the reason I ask if you just got started, it's funny because I talk to potential prospects all the time, and if there is one fear, it's that they're going to get blasted. And I can honestly tell you it's way less than 1% of the time. Very, very. I never had it happen to me. I don't know that Chad's ever had it happen, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And we've had a couple people, their very first call like you, it happens, and then we talked to them a year later, and everybody's been nice to them since. So, like Chad said, don't let it stop you from trying to get out there and help people. You just got struck by lightning, and lightning rarely strikes twice. So I doubt you'll ever come across somebody like that again.
Oh, that's
and
good.
if you're having trouble kicking it, Joyce, this is how I was hit one time, and it was from a fellow realtor in my market that unexpectedly lost her husband. And she called and just blistered me. And I was like, okay. So I took a deep breath, I put it in the simmer pot, and then I came back an hour later. And I sit down, and this is something I ask everybody to do when I get this phone call, and this for multiple reasons, but sit down and write a letter. And maybe you don't even send it to her because she's so hot under the collar. But for me, I sat down and wrote a personal letter to the woman that blasted me. And it helped me clear my chest. It reminded me that I was doing the right things for the right reasons. And sure, I went ahead and sent it. And the next communication I had with her, she was actually thanking me for providing a service that didn't exist in our market, and telling me how amazing it was once she actually understood what I was offering. And she was a week away from that, from getting the letter. Then she saw a huge amount of value, and we've done deals since. I mean, we have a great working relationship. But writing the letter helped me get clear with myself that I was doing the right things, and let her know that I had good intentions and was doing the right thing. And it just really helped me clear my head. So if you find that that's sticking with you, write the letter and stick it in your desk drawer if you don't want to send it to her. But it really helped me kind of reinforce why the heck I'm doing this when there's a million ways to make money in real estate. So that might be something helpful for you to try.
Thank you very much. I'm going to do that.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Joyce. We have 2 more in the queue. We do have room for more. Again, just hit *6 and hit 1 if you'd like to be up next. In the meantime, phone number ending in 3575, you're up next.
Hello, my name is Luis. I'm located in San Jose, California. Just getting started. I just got subscribed last week, so I'm just here joining in on the Mastermind calls, getting acquainted with everything, and then, of course, waiting for my list to get started on the program.
Okay. Just saying hello?
Just saying hello, here to pick up the nuggets. I already picked some up already, just in case I meet some hostile people on the other end.
Don't expect it. It'll probably never happen. But if it does, again, you can't. Hey, have you ever called a FSBO and they say you're the 100th person that called me today? You're always gonna.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
I've worked customer service before, so I already know being on the other end of the phone. It's usually not a good call if somebody's calling in about a product. So.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Welcome, Luis. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have one more in the queue. We have plenty of room for more. Just hit *6 and hit 1. Next up is phone number ending in 4618. You're up next.
Hi, this is Sonja in Georgia. And so that last a couple of calls ago, the one with the lady who had the bad experience, it's brought up a question for me. I've been wondering about these phone numbers. They don't the do not call list doesn't apply to these people. Is that correct? Because we're not calling to try to sell them. I mean, is there anything to worry about there?
We've never seen a problem with it, and the legal opinion that we've gotten is these people are public administrators. Well, they are administrators that are providing, handling. They're the face to the public of the estate. I'm stumbling all over my words, but so they could be on the DNC. We are not scrubbing against DNC, but they are in a public position. So it's their job to, when the probate's open, to have the conversations that are relevant to the estate. And I think, with DNC, if you call somebody who is on DNC, it's extremely rare that you would ever get in trouble on the first occurrence. It's when you continue to call someone when they've explicitly asked you not to.
Sure.
So we've never seen a problem, or I'm not aware of any complaints in 4 years, and probably at this point millions of phone calls. I'm not aware of any DNC problems that any of our subscribers have had.
Okay. And then another question. So I am also just getting started, and I was just going to call, I did purchase some historical leads, I guess you call them, and I was just going to call them without mailing those. Do you think that's a good idea? I mean,
it can work. I mean, we certainly have people who just do calls, and we have people who just do mailing. And, we recommend the combination because oftentimes, you're even calling during ideal times, your contact rate is going to be maybe 50% at best with people actually answering the phone. That's a really good day on the phones, right? So you may have an opportunity to speak with 50%, but how the other, and you can't sell over voicemail, so how do the other 50% know that your service exists? So what we recommend is send a letter so they understand what your service is and what your offer is, and then follow up with a phone call. And what's really interesting, especially in really, really competitive markets, a lot of times the phone call is the edge. Like when they make the call, they're like, oh yeah, I got your letter. It's the only one that I actually didn't throw away. And the phone call was the key to actually getting that. But the letter had already built trust, so they knew who they were on the phone with. So it's, it can work either way, but it's most effective. Like if you're going to go backwards in time, I would still, as long as your budget allows it, I would still fire off at least one letter and then follow it with your call.
Okay, thank you.
And the good news with older lists too is most people have let off. If you do have competition, mainly from investors, they're not going to market long term. So you can oftentimes get a higher conversion rate going backwards. And if you're just getting started, we have tons of stories where people will sign up and buy 3, 4, 5 months of historical data and hit 2 or 3 listings right out of the gate. So other people have, gone on the new list. They're not getting the pressure that they were 2 or 3 months ago, so you stand out even more in the mailbox. So.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I was just going to add to that, Sonja. In addition to everything that Chad said, one of the benefits of sending a letter is that a percentage of the people will put your letter away and call you a year later, where they probably won't save your voicemail. Probate leads do season very well. The majority of them want to do business right now, but you do have people for logistical, emotional reasons. They're just not ready to deal with it yet. And both Chad and I have gotten letters that we had sent out I think Chad had one he had sent out 2.5 years ago. Much better chance they're going to put your letter in a file and call you back later than they're going to save your voicemail that long. So, it's trying to, either method can work, but the combination of the two of them gives you the best odds of having the most success.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have one more in the queue, and we do have plenty of room for more. Again, just hit *6 and hit 1. Right now, the last person up is phone number ending in 1485. You're up next.
Hi, my name is Mary Patterson. I am calling from Denver, Colorado.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. A couple things. I hate to be the doer of bad since we're hearing all these good things. I have been in the program since March. I even called and sent archive leads. I am not getting a single lead. Can somebody go into my file and find out what the problem is?
Sure.
It's not the file, it's your market.
I mean, my market. It's
so
my market?
You are
okay.
You're in what we found to be the absolutely toughest market in the country. However, everyone that has stuck with our system, and we've even had people quit and come back later. That's pretty common there, actually. What tends to happen is investors are working obituaries, so they're looking at, and we've actually proofed this out, and I tracked it meticulously with one of our subscribers. A lot of your properties are transferring even before the probate's filed. So the investors are looking at obituaries, skip tracing, and reaching out to family members. So it's easy to get frustrated in Denver because you're going to find half of them sold cash before the probate was even filed. The other half are on MLS, and you've got about half to deal with. However, what we've found, like the people who have stuck with it, like in Arapahoe and Weld, like up.
Yeah, I'm in Arapahoe.
Yeah, so we've had subscribers there that have just given up, thrown their hands up, and walked away, and then they come back after they get 3 or 4 listings. So what we find is the people, there's fierce competition in the beginning, and the executors are kind of overwhelmed by that. But then everyone seems to back off of them in 3 or 4 months, and then the fortune is in the follow-up in your market for sure. We're finding that at that 3, 4, 5 month mark, that's where people start getting the people who actually need help. And they've kind of been in hiding. They're the ones that are shutting people down on the phone saying, I don't need your help. We've got it handled, because they're overwhelmed. But then once the smoke kind of clears, they seem to come back out and really respond to the offer that we teach, the kind of the multiple offers of focusing on people and situation and having a solution for everything in the probate. That tends to bring them back. So you're in a tough market. I mean, you should still hit the phones early and try to compete. I mean, the phones can give you a really good edge. Most investors aren't going to have the phone numbers, usually just an address.
Okay, I'm doing everything through you, the mailings and the phone messages. Okay, so 5 months is what I've been in now. Should I maybe go back and do another round of phone calls or mailings to the ones that I started with in March?
Based on the coaching that I've done in that area, I would say yes. And I don't know if Matt, if you're on this call, I don't know. We've got some folks that, they quit 4 or 5 months in, but continued to drop letters and make phone calls. And Matt, one of our subscribers, he was 4 months, and we tracked every single phone call he made, and he was working his butt off and got nothing. he called back and what was it, Jim? I think he got four. It was I think 4 listings in a week. And
yeah, they all came at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had another one there. I know he tried it for a month or two and quit, and then a year later he got a big $35,000 commission. So he had his assistant get on the phone and call year-old leads, and he got 3 listings with year-old leads. So yeah, you're just in a hyper-competitive market, so you got to work it much more aggressively. Kind of reminds me of New York City. We've had 5 subscribers in New York City. We finally had one come along that's aggressive and stuck with it. That made almost $1 million commission last year. So work that to your advantage. And it sounds like you got a great attitude. You're not giving up. So congratulations for that. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will go back and redo the March list of leads and see what happens there. Or do you think that's still too soon?
And what letter are you using? Do you remember? Are you using a series of the same letter 3 times, or what are you sending?
No, I'm using 1 and then 2, the same.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what they are
actually,
right now.
2 of the letters, probably near the bottom, were actually written for they were written for Colorado Springs, but close enough. There's one called the house value letter. That's more of a farming approach, like you actually send it to the decedent. So it shows up in the mailbox or it gets mail forwarded, and it looks like you're, just the local expert in the area. That's a really indirect approach. And there's another one called, what do we call that? The social entrepreneur or something like that. And it's more of a, like, really putting your why up front and center, saying, this is what we do and why we do it. I would encourage you to look at those letters. I actually wrote those for a team in Colorado Springs. But take a look at those and see if they might fit your business and your personality a little better, and try those. Those can be really effective on the older, the folks that have been forgotten by everybody else, but still have the need to be helped. They've just kind of had their head in the sand for a few months. Those can be really good letters for that.
Okay, I will take a look at those, and I will give this a try.
Thank you, Mary. Great attitude.
Thank you.
When it finally starts clicking, please call back and let us know. And if there's anything
Kevin,
to do additional, let us know.
I will be so excited when it clicks. I will call immediately.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's not easy. It's not easy to stand up in front of the country and say that, like, hey, it's not working for me. But I appreciate you doing it so far.
Yeah, I was hesitating.
I thought we were finally. Denver's the one city where I thought we got skunked because we hadn't gotten deals, but everyone who's been willing to raise their hand and ask for help, we've been able to get into a groove there and build some momentum. So please don't hesitate if you ever need help, or if you just need to vent, give us a call and we'll do everything we can to help you out. But it will work there. It has worked everywhere. Just stick with it. Okay.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mary. We have 2 more in the queue. Next up is phone number ending in 7256. You're up next.
Hi, this is Tonya Dixon in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Hi there.
Hi. I just wanted to say I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. Your team is fantastic. I've had so much help from Emmett regarding the letters, and Jeremy. He's working on the website for me. I started making calls this week, and I got, one woman who just was tearful, and her husband passed away, and 2 small children, and that was really hard. I ended up sending her a card, and it took me a couple days to get started again. And then I called people today, and I have 2 possibilities, not appointments yet, but I just want to say to everybody listening, you just have to keep going.
Well, that's great. Thank you. I mean, and you're following the program, you're sending the letters, are you pretty much following we don't believe a whole lot in scripts, but are you following Chad's seller checklist, calling and asking questions and offering to help them, right?
Yes, absolutely. I had to make it my own. I understand what he was saying. It helps to have a framework, and then to just get comfortable with how you want to say things. And people, even the woman who was so distraught, people are they're so nice. They're just, I mean, you really do get into these conversations with people about, what they're dealing with.
Sure.
So it's way more common that we hear that than, that's what we hear way more often than people getting hit with the lightning strike. Like, it's always funny to me when people finish mastery. They'll call me back and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I finally got on the phones today. These people are awesome. They love me." And that's a pretty typical reaction. Like, people don't expect a real estate professional to go above and beyond to the level that that we teach you guys to do. So it's super easy to build rapport, and I mean, most all of these have been one-stop listings for me, and many of them are just come list me calls. So, and as you build momentum, it just gets easier and more fun, and then the testimonials start to roll in, and that'll keep you energized when you do uncover those ugly people.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you're great. I'm having to overcome my fear of the phone, and it's been good so far. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie. We think you're great for being willing to do it. Keep it up.
Thanks.
All right. We have two more in the queue. Next up is phone number ending in 1169. You're up next.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Dennis. Look, I was just wanting to share with everybody. I've listened to these calls several times and, hear about the call reluctance, the lightning strikes, and things like that. And, just wanted to, especially the people that are new getting into this, wanted to just share that, I've been doing this for about a year and a half now, and it just simply takes time. A lot of these people have a lot to deal with, getting properties cleaned out, getting through the probate process, so on and so forth. And just wanted to share that once you build that pipe, I'm finding that a lot of the properties that I'm listing, my first contact was 6, 7, 9 months before actually listing. But the good news is that you continue to follow up on those leads. You build a pipe that's going to consistently produce the business you're looking for. I listed 6 properties in June that were all probate properties. One of them was a guy that I'd been after for 10 months, and he finally texted me and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in town this coming weekend. Can we meet to get the property on the market?" Listed it, sold it cash first day. Just keep making the calls, keep following up on them. There's plenty of business there.
Dennis, we're just going to let you finish up this call. Thanks for joining.
Hey, seriously, I'm a long-time prospector. I prospect every single day. It's just part of it. This source right here, for sale by owners in my market, they sell themselves if they're reasonably priced. A for sale by owner will laugh at me these days. Expireds are non-existent. This is a source that's never going away. It's a lot of lead follow-up, but there's a big payoff in it as well. So I just wanted to share that to everybody that has the reluctance, is finding a hard time getting those initial hot leads. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every now and then I can pluck one off of a fresh list. It happens, but more often than not, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. But having a pipeline, having all those people build up in my lead follow-up system, now it's providing a consistent 2, 3 listings a month easily. So, and that's just calling administrators direct. That's I haven't even started working attorneys or anything else. That's just direct prospecting.
That is awesome. And you said it's not going away. It's not only going away, but unfortunately for us baby boomers, it's going to keep increasing. I mean, it's Chad has quoted the numbers before. It's going to be the biggest untapped source of transfer of wealth in the country's history over the next, 30 years, Chad? Or 20, 30 years? When's it supposed to peak?
We've got about 40 to 45 more years for that generation. I mean, you're going to see an exponential increase probably over the next 30 years. So your lead counts are going to slowly climb. I was looking at one this Santa Clara, California this morning, and in the time we have done this, we've gone from 15 leads a month upwards of 60 to 65 leads a month. And so you're absolutely right. We're in the very beginning of the largest wealth transfer in U.S. history and global history, and we're in a great position to put our flag in the sand and build a team. And yeah, we monetize the real estate spoke, but there's a lot of other ways we can help. So if you're willing to provide this level of service and you do it early, it's going to be hard for anyone in your market to ever compete with you. So
wow, great job, Dennis.
Yeah,
we really appreciate your. Yeah, like Chad said, we may hire you as an assistant coach. We appreciate your kind words, your comments, and I am sure you inspired a lot of people on the call. So thank you so much.
Well, I hope that was my hope, and I've had a lot of people help me along the way. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, and hopefully it helps them grow their business as well.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it.
Before we go, Dennis, like your mindset is awesome. Like that's what it takes to really excel in this space. I think your next step, you need to be meeting with the attorneys. That you're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed at how happy they are to meet you. So I would recommend take some testimonials, or maybe even a two-sided document that kind of shows summaries of the people you've helped and what solutions you've pulled together, and go out and meet the attorneys in your town. I mean, and that's you could probably double what you're doing right now if these attorneys can just get face to face with you.
I was sharing with my mastermind group on Tuesday that I absolutely believe that there's no reason why I couldn't push this up to 10 listings a month, do 100 transactions a year just off of probate. So,
yep.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate your participation. Great story. The last guy up this week is somebody I've never heard of, Roger Lacey.
Well, good afternoon.
Who are you, Roger?
Roger Lacey.
Roger Lacey, and I always mispronounce your name. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
How you doing, Roger?
On that. I'm doing fine. Smile when you say Lacey.
Oh, you got it.
I want to compliment you guys. I've seen you guys grow over the last 2 or 3 years. Y'all have become a very mature product helping agents to do what they do, and I'm just totally amazed at the amount of transformation that I've seen these calls and how maturely you're handling the guys. I've been with the service for now about almost 3 years, and I'm having a wonderful time. I do something a little bit different than others. I do what they're doing. I'm changing up things and testing things as I go along. But one of the things that I have that I really am proud of is keeping in touch with the families that I have helped. And when I talk about the families, I'm talking about you have the personal representative, and then you have the siblings if they're in the local area. And so I put them on on my sphere of influence, and I have an aggressive sphere of influence contact. So I'm mailing them once a month a nice postcard and doing that, and I'm getting referrals off of that as well. And I owe it to just basically becoming more familiar with everybody. And when I win and help the family sell a property, I'm also asking for them to send referrals to me, and it's just balloon. It's just an exponential explosion, just like the last caller said. It's just it's just mind blowing once you get off of this one sale a day or trying to find the next customer. When you start working the attorney market, and then you start getting referrals off of attorneys. I got a referral off an attorney the other day for 3 houses on the lake out of a trust, a log cabin on the lake, another house with a boat dock, and another house that's got $1 million view, and that's about $1.5 million listings, 3 listings that I've got on the market, and I'm just trying to work that in. So it's just a matter of staying with the program, find the niche that works with you. I love getting referrals off of the families that I've helped, and I've sold several properties off of that after the probate has been taken care of or the trust is taken care of. It's really just taking a big load off of the administrator, take it off their shoulders, helping them, and the rest of the family sees it. And so I've just started following up with an aggressive SOI program, maintain contact with them. And occasionally I'll stop by and bring an apple pie and we'll have lunch and do something like that with those guys. My business is doing better this year than it has in a long time.
Well, that's great, Roger. For those of you that haven't heard you before, it sounds like with these $1 million properties, you must be in Southern California. Tell everybody where you're located.
Fayetteville, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas.
So not a huge population center. And how many leads do you get per month?
Generally around 35 to 40 of leads per month. And when I thought that was a real low number, but it's really manageable for me as a realtor. And now I'm beginning with developing my SOI with these leads and stuff. I need to start looking at building a team to try to take care of all the various details that I got, so I can stay out on the street in front of attorneys and pricing properties.
Yeah, well, you're getting 10 times as many leads as the first caller that got 4. So, but yeah, I want to compliment you. One thing you've done from the entire time you've been with us, and you've really taught us this, and you've taught a lot of our agents this. You've done probably the best job of anybody of, making the probate the point of contact, and then growing your sphere from probate contacts. I mean, you've done a ton of business with people that were not, they didn't have a probate, they didn't have a trust, but it's somebody you met in the process. So you do it out of a typical probate transaction. Would you say it's unusual for you how many people would you typically add to your SOI out of one transaction?
3.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. You get a 3-to-1 multiple. Yeah.
Yes, 3 to 1, and I send them holiday cards and event cards and try to pop in and call them after, even on that. So, and you remember me, I hated making phone calls. Well, I just love making phone calls to my friends.
Yeah.
and then the phone conversations coming on. Eventually they say, "How's your business?" And I'm saying, "Blah blah blah blah. It's doing great, exploding, and it's really incredible, unbelievable. Real estate's unbelievable." And then they'll go that and they say, "Well, I've got another friend over here that I need to send to you that needs some help." And it's another way of growing. And I did it because primarily I'm not from Northwest Arkansas. I dropped in here in 2000, and everybody around me was doing business with whoever they went to high school with, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh gosh, how can I build my sphere of friends in this area?" And probate is a great way to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chad. You had a comment?
Yeah, Roger. I mean, thanks for all your compliments. It's greatly appreciated, and all the things you do for us. The people on this call, one of the ladies earlier said, she's fighting call reluctance, and we've changed over the last 3 years. But I've seen that in you too. Like you weren't. You didn't seem to be too excited about your business when we first talked 3 years ago or so. And it seems like every time you come on these calls, you've amped it up a little bit more, and you're a little more proud of your offer and a little more excited to make the next call. And I think, we've kind of forced you on the phone as the prospect, and you blossomed and found out, you actually love this. So thank you for always being here, and just good encouragement for the other folks, some of the earlier callers. I mean, Roger was absolutely in your position 3 years ago. And mindset was really what made the big difference. You committed to doing it and focused on people first, and here you are. So thanks for sharing and always being here on these calls.
Awesome job, guys. Go ahead, Roger. You had something else?
Y'all have a blessed week.
You too, sir. No one else in the queue. Last call, hit *6 and hit 1. Otherwise, I think that's a great way to wrap it up. It amazes me. I think every week I say to the guys, that was our best call. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys, the energy, the enthusiasm, the sincerity that you bring to the calls. And believe me, we appreciate you every bit as much as you do us. And we're proud of y'all that are having successes. We had 10 people on this call that shared successes. We're going to have a hard task picking our win of the week. I do want to challenge y'all, though. You had some great, inspiring stories, successes, mindset. Take just one idea, one thing, one story that you heard on today's call. Go out and put it into practice and come back next Thursday and share the results with us. Make it a great week, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Take care.